This 10-minute presentation shows a quick and easy way to use a microphone along with a headset, a webcam, and OBS to do reaction videos or any other kind of video that you would like to have yourself presented where you can be heard along with whatever's on the video screen being heard. To start, we'll go to obsproject.com/download. You'll want to click on the download installer. This will automatically start downloading the Windows version. Once it is finished, you'll be able to just click on Open File. It's an exe, there's nothing to unpackage. Once OBS is open, there's always a default scene. We'll want to click on the Add in the lower left. This way we can add our own scene. You can name this whatever you want. We'll call this one 10-minute presentation. Now we will want to go to the sources and click Add. Here we're going to choose Display Capture. You'll see that I already have one called Big Monitor. So what we'll do in the meantime is put in Laptop Monitor. You cannot name them the same, but you can give as many names as you want. In this situation, since I already have Big Monitor created, I will just use that one. Now would be a good time to pause as we're going to open up the Paint program. At any point that you feel that you're not keeping up, feel free to pause the video as this is an accelerated timeline. In Paint, we're simply just going to flood fill blue into the cells already here and save that as a PNG file. JPEGs are also fine. Remember where you saved it and what you called it. In this situation, I'll call it blue block. That way I can easily find it later when I need it. Back in OBS, we're going to add. And what we're going to do is we're going to pick image this time. Give your image a name. I'm choosing blue block since that is what the color is. And I'm going to browse to where I saved it. Once you have that picked, click OK and you'll have it on your screen. From here, we're going to resize it. You can stretch it. You can also right-click on it and then go to Transform and click on Fit to Screen. From there, we'll just grab the bottom anchor and drag it up. We'll need to figure out what size we want. So I'll drag down a little bit also. Now it's time to make our text file. So we're going to right-click on the desktop, go to New, and choose New Text Document. From there, we'll rename it something we can remember. In this situation, we'll just do scroll bar. Now let's type something in there that we want to see on our screen capture. I'm just going to type in "this text will scroll by" for now. Remember to either hit Control S to save or click on File and go down to Save. Either way, this does not work unless you remember to save. Now let's go back into OBS and click on Sources, Add again. This time we want to add text. Now, give it a name that you'll recognize, just like anything, and click OK. Now you'll be presented with the property box for your text. Normally you could just type some text in here, but we want to read it from a file, and this has a very specific reason why. So click Browse, find your file on the desktop, and open that, and you'll see it on the screen. From here, we're now going to adjust how it looks. You can start by selecting a font, and you can see there's different font sizes, different styles, and different fonts. So we'll do a few adjustments here, and then we will also work on its color and its position. But let's start with its color, and then we'll make it uppercase. And of course, just as a reminder, like before, if you feel like you're getting behind, just feel free to pause or rewind the video so you can keep up with what we're doing as it moves on. Now that we have that all set, we'll hit OK, and we're going to move the text. And we're going to put it on that blue bar that we had before. Since I decided not to go with it too wide, what I want to do is I could either make it scroll all the way across that, or I could just do a section taking up less screen. So we're going to click on Filters, we're going to add a scroll, and then I'm just going to leave it name scroll. And then from here you can pick horizontal or vertical. Vertical, as you can see, goes vertical. It has its purpose, but we want a horizontal. So we'll set this back to 0, and then we'll move this to a speed that looks good. Okay, now limit width is what we'll want to do next. And you can see once I clicked it, the width is extremely limited. We need that much wider. So you can see I'm just going to type in a random large number and hit close. And I think I'm okay with that. Now let's click on blue block in the sources. That way it's highlighted. Grab the right anchor, pull it over, get it right where the words are going to be scrolling from it so it looks like it's all contained in that box. In sources, I'm going to click the scroll and then filters. That way I can change the horizontal speed. Being a smaller box, it feels like it's moving too fast. We'll close that, and that's a much better speed. I think we'll stick with that for the rest of the presentation. Let's open our scroll box text. What I like to do is I'd like to put a dash in front of the first word with a space, and then I like to end it with a space and then a dash. As you notice, the scrolling is kind of weird. So once I save this by hitting Control S, you'll notice that it instantly changes above, and now it gives you definite breaks so you can see where the beginning of the sentence is compared to the end. Another benefit from being able to change the text file and have it instantly show on the screen is now we can add more information. So it looks like it's saying the same thing because I just copied and pasted the same. But now, as I change it, I'll just call it 10-minute, and we'll save that, and you're going to see it say up there now, this text will scroll by -- 10-minute presentation. And that will just continue until I change it or stop the presentation. Okay, open a website that has a video on it. What we're going to do is add a webcam now. And the reason for this is you'll see that we can play videos and have audio and video at the same time on top of it. So first we're going to add a video capture device. Here you can call it whatever you want or just leave it the same. I'll call mine webcam. It's going to default to my laptop camera, but from there we're going to switch it over to the Logitech. Now that you can see, I do have a green screen behind me, so we will take advantage of that. Move the camera around here a little bit. You'll see my voice isn't adding up, but as we get going, I'll show a presentation of how it all works at the end. So let's click OK. You can see I already dragged it to the lower right-hand corner. I'm going to click on webcam. I'm going to grab the top anchor, but before I click on it, I'm going to hold Alt down and then drag it down. This will crop the image. That way we can get rid of any of the area that's not a green screen. I'll do the same to the left side. For the right side, I just dragged my image off the screen and that cropped it for me. Once you have your resizing done and have it sized where you want it, you'll notice that your body's being cut off. Now you could leave it like this, or you could do a little adjustment to make it a little bit better. What I like to do is go back in, add another image. We already have the image made that we're going to use. Click on Add Existing, then click on the blue block, hit OK, and now what we're going to do is we're going to drag down the image. You'll see that because of how everything acts as layers, it's covering up the webcam. So we can either click on it in the sources area and drag it down, or we can just use the down arrow, click on that, and it'll bring it one under showing our webcam again. Now what we want to do is we want to move the blue box around, and right where the shoulder cuts off and the hat cuts off, we want to put it right there. I'm purposely leaning forward so I can use myself as a guideline. And now that I have it there, I click off to the side. You can see as I move around and move my arm, it looks a little more natural, like the box is supposed to be there instead of having it just cut off. Just gives it a little bit of a nicer edge. I like using the blue block because it hides if the green screen didn't completely move out of there a bit. There's always a little granularity there unless you have your lights set up absolutely perfectly. So this is actually a good way of kind of hiding some things to make it go quicker, as this is supposed to be just a quick presentation of how to do this. And now what we'll do is go over some of the audio. You'll see here down below we have two audio bars. We got the one that's all the way up, that's the microphone, and then we also have the one above it, the desktop audio, and that it will be the video we're going to play. We want that lower than the other one. Okay, let's start recording. You'll see on the right it says stop recording, but that's where we would hit start recording, and it's going to default to our videos folder. And here's the results. I'm talking over the video.
This is,
if you don't feel like it's a good balance,
system, kind of like what the,
we can bring it down a little bit.
For,
but there you have it. I'm talking about a video that I'm actually talking about a gun in, and that's why the voices sound familiar. But that
It was
is
actually
a
released
quick
in a lot of places, like the US,
tutorial on
UK,
how
US
to
in,
set up
I
a
believe,
screen capture in OBS.
1980s.
Thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. And hopefully I can continue to make more instructional videos like this.